Well, this is the trouble, isn't it? And also the other thing, Claire, is that I got the sense yesterday that because of the furore that surrounded the giving back of 6,000 quid, and instead of killing the story, it kind of added fuel to it, and everyone's going, what about the other, 97,000 or whatever that you haven't given back? I worry that this was a kind of dead cat scenario where they just go, oh, I know, let's give the Chagos Islands back to Mauritius, and that'll shut everybody up and get it on the front pages. Yeah,
but the reality is that the discussions, the diplomatic discussions for giving these islands back have been going on for years and years. So we wonder why it's just taken a new administration
why suddenly?
Just to change it. That's my point.
I mean, we talked about this yesterday. The only thing you can actually physically say that the Labour Party have done since they've been in government is take the fuel allowance away from pensioners, right? That's the only thing. Now this is the second thing, both of which are not universally liked. I mean, in the Times today, they're saying the Americans are not happy. They're saying publicly,
well, they won't be happy because
they're saying publicly they're okay.
A strategic
Diego Garcia.
Yes.
Yeah. And so it doesn't. I mean, the speed with which which happened. This is the same people who can't organise a budget. They have to wait till the end of October to do a budget. Which means they'll have been in by then for what, 4 or 5 months. But they can suddenly give Chagos Islands away overnight, practically.
Well, they're doing that, but I think it's a very dangerous administration. It's not a very safe. Let's not forget who's in charge of foreign affairs. It is, of course, David Lammy.
Comical Lammy, as I call him.
I have got absolutely no faith in that man whatsoever. In fact, I'd go as far to say I've got no faith in this administration currently. But I want this government to succeed. We need governments to succeed. It's not in anyone's interest.
I was talking to somebody yesterday about this who said, and who knows about being in government, and she said to me, I think people are beginning to realise now that it's actually impossible to govern. Not just in Britain, but everywhere. Everywhere is a real problem, you know, because there are so many problems around the world, so many problems internally, so many problems with immigration affecting every country in the world.
Every single country.
Nobody knows what to do. Nobody can do it.
But common sense should be able to prevail, though. And I think it's a very dangerous administration that's in at the moment because, one, they're flailing. Two, I said before he was elected as PM, I don't think he wanted the job. I really didn't think it, and I don't think it now. There's allegations that are yet to come. There's, background talk in newsrooms about what is going on. No one seems to be able to talk about it.
There's many problems behind the scenes.
There's clearly many issues. But why? Why would he come in? And he could have done so much good for the people. They are supposed to be a socialist party. They're supposed to be the party of Labour. They're supposed to be the party of change. There's been nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Nothing, and in fact, the only things that there have been bad things.
The removal of the winter fuel allowance, the giving away of the Chagos Islands, the potential 25% taken away of single people's council tax. That's going to affect more than, almost half the population.
Absolutely. And then we've got this story this morning as well in the Times, that basically 65 civil servants have been hired, probably by Sue Gray, and put into key positions all over Whitehall.
For what?
With all sorts of different jobs, but they're all Labour apparatchiks. What they are is political
don't need
appointments.
More civil
Service
servants.
Commission approved all but 2 applications, but the government went outside the normal recruitment process and just basically appointed people. Well, so that's a massive problem.
But our civil service used to be the absolute aim for every country. They used to act with complete parity. Now they don't.
No.
And I think bringing unions into that hasn't helped that either.
No, of course it hasn't.
They should be there to serve the country, regardless of the administration.
The Office of National Statistics, as we said yesterday, who are going to go on strike because they don't want to come into work in the office 2 days a week.
Oh, this is just appalling.
It is appalling.
Absolutely appalling.
Absolutely ridiculous. Let's talk about Gary Lineker, though.
People need to jog on and get lives. They really do.
I know.
Lighten it up. Come on.
Let's talk about Gary Lineker.
Yes.
His future match of the day is apparently
That's
in
great
question.
news.
Isn't that great news?
Wonderful news.
I mean, that will make a lot of people very, very happy.
So why has this come about?
Well, apparently there's some kind of leaked email which found its way outside of the walls of Broadcasting House.
Wow.
In which it suggested that this might well be the final season. We know, for example, from just pieces that have been written in the last few weeks, Jermaine Jenis was being kind of,
mooted for that job.
Mooted for the job. And one of the reasons why he didn't, or why he was sort of pushed out after the scandal of what he was caught doing, was that a certain Gary Lineker was consulting with an awful lot of people in the media when the story kind of broke. And I think the code for that is that, you know, Gary Lineker might have told one or two people about it. There was an internal inquiry going on, and Jermaine Jenis has been found to be sending pictures to people that he shouldn't have been doing.
Okay.
So Jermaine Jenis is now off the reservation, as it were, and Gary Lineker thought, well, now I can just stay here forever. But apparently not. The BBC is saying, no, we think it might be time to start retiring.
Do you think that's his first yellow card in his career, then?
Well, I think it could be. But when he was visited by a journalist from Mail Online at his home in southwest London, he was told to F off. I won't talk to you.
That's a red card,
I mean,
then.
That's a red, isn't it? I mean, Gary Lineker, butter wouldn't melt in his mouth, nice man that he is and all that, never got sent off.
Love a refugee.
Loves a refugee, you know. He doesn't speak nicely. Doesn't talk nicely to journalists, does he?
No, he does not.
So that's not very good. Anyway, let's talk about something even more ridiculous. A Loch Ness Monster. Page 3 of the Daily Mail. This is always my favourite story whenever it comes around. Is this the best evidence? You know what people say? The answer to every question in the Daily Mail is always no, right? Is this the best evidence we've ever had that Nessie is real? The answer is...
Of course it's not.
But I've got a soft spot for Nessie, I've got to say. I mean, you know,
how can you have a soft spot for something that's not real,
well,
Mike?
Because I don't believe...
You deal with tangible evidence, for heaven's sake.
Well, I don't believe that it's not
facts.
real. Yes, I do. And
but this is fact, it's not real. What?
Here's a fact for you.
Give us it.
There is an underground tunnel that links Loch Ness to the outside world, and it goes all the way out into the Irish Sea, right? So it is entirely possible that there's a serpent of some kind which doesn't live in the loch but comes and visits the loch from time to time. Saltwater loch, because how does the saltwater get in? Through the underground tunnel, right? So you can't tell me it's not true until you can prove it's not true. And you can't prove it's not true.
Well, you can. No, you can't. Because it's not been found.
Well, so?
But why did the myth even start?
Well, you call it a myth, and that I would say is deliberately, you know, doing the story down. The myth didn't start. The myth is not a myth. The fact is, people have seen things in the loch that they think look like a serpent.
For too much buckfast, then.
That may well be true.
They need to drink more iron.
But this is sonar imaging, right? And sonar, as you know, is much more accurate than anything that the human eye can see. And they've registered what looks like a serpent-like creature. Right?
Talking about things that you can see, you mentioned some special glasses, didn't you?
Oh, yes. Yeah, these are meta glasses, right?
And what do they do?
And these are from Facebook's owner, you know, what's his face? Zuckerberg, who basically has said that you can wear these glasses when you walk down the street. Do you remember the Terminator when he would look at somebody and he'd see their clothes, see the size of the clothes and all that? These will do something similar, but they'll tell you who the person is and where they live.
That'd be really helpful for people with dementia.
Well, you give them to the police. That would help. You know, it might help them arrest some people, right? But people with dementia need to find out where they live, not where everybody else lives.
They will be able to see it, and they won't forget names then.
That's possible.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm not too sure. I think that's a bit of a step too far with the old AI, isn't it?
Of course it's AI. See what you did there? Aye.
And what about Wayne Rooney? He's in the Sun today.
Is he?
Apparently he paid £150,000 to go and spend the weekend with P. Diddy. And luckily for him, his wife... luckily for him, his wife went, "You're not going there." And he didn't go. So he wasted the money, but he probably saved himself from all sorts of horrors.
If only he had listened to Colleen much earlier on, then he wouldn't now be looking like a geography supply teacher.
Yes.
Exactly.
Indeed. Now, this is Friday.